that's always bothered me is that in Star Trek, Wesley Crusher, played by Will Wheaton, was never given the credit he was due. He wasn't. I think the disdain for the character, not the actor, but the character, was more because we were all jealous. At that age, we were thinking, shoot, we should be on Star Trek, not him. We were jealous of him. But what if Wesley Crusher was the key to everything? You'll notice when the Traveler says keep an eye on him kind of idea, and then we can see in Picard later on that Wesley Crusher actually became a Traveler, kind of in the same, I would say, power as the Q, so maybe another being, and actually had something to do with the whole timeline. So I went to AI and I said, write me a short story about how Wesley Crusher uses his powers as a Traveler to save the universe. And of course it did, and I wasn't expecting it to be this good. So this series is going to be me playing it and kind of listening to it for the first time with you, a story about how Wesley Crusher saved the universe. Enjoy.
Wesley Crusher was always fascinated by the mysteries of the universe. He had a brilliant mind and a thirst for knowledge that made him stand out among his peers. He joined Starfleet Academy with the hope of becoming a starship engineer, but soon realized that his true passion was exploring the unknown. He was intrigued by the Traveler, a mysterious being who could manipulate time and space with his thoughts. The Traveler recognized Wesley's potential and offered to mentor him in his abilities. Wesley accepted, and left Starfleet to embark on a journey of discovery with the Traveler. They visited countless worlds and dimensions, witnessing wonders and horrors beyond imagination. Wesley learned to master his powers and became a Traveler himself. He could bend reality to his will, and travel anywhere and anytime he desired. But with great power came great responsibility. Wesley soon discovered that his actions had consequences, and that he could not interfere with the natural order of things without risking the balance of the cosmos. He also learned that there were other Travelers, some of whom had less noble intentions than him. One of these Travelers was Q, a mischievous and arrogant entity who enjoyed playing games with lesser beings. Q had a long history of meddling with the crew of the USS Enterprise, especially Captain Jean-Luc Picard, whom he considered his favorite toy. Q was bored and decided to have some fun with Wesley. Q created a temporal anomaly, a rift in the fabric of time that threatened to erase the entire history of the Federation. He challenged Wesley to fix it or watch everything he cared about disappear. Q also warned Wesley that he could not use his powers directly, as that would only make things worse. He had to find another way to restore the timeline, without revealing his identity as a Traveler. Wesley accepted the challenge and began his quest. He traveled back in time to various points in Federation history, trying to find the source of the anomaly and undo the damage. He encountered many familiar faces, such as his mother Beverly, his friends from the Enterprise, and even his younger self. He also faced many dangers, such as hostile aliens, temporal paradoxes, and Q's traps. Wesley realized that the anomaly was caused by a subtle but significant change in the past, a butterfly effect that altered the course of events. He traced it back to the year 2364, when he first met the Traveler on board the Enterprise. Q had tampered with the Traveler's warp experiment, causing a malfunction that sent the Enterprise to the edge of the galaxy. There, they encountered a powerful being known as the Q Continuum, who put humanity on trial for its crimes. Wesley remembered that the Traveler had helped the Enterprise escape from the Q Continuum, and that Picard had convinced Q to drop the charges against humanity. But Q had changed that outcome, and instead had the Q Continuum destroy the Enterprise and condemn humanity to extinction. This created a ripple effect that erased the Federation from existence. Wesley knew that he had to stop Q from interfering with the Traveler's experiment and ensure that the Enterprise met the Q Continuum and passed the trial. He disguised himself as a Starfleet officer and boarded the Enterprise before it left for its mission. He located the Traveler and warned him about Q's plan. He also contacted Picard and told him to prepare for the encounter with the Q continuum. Wesley and the Traveler worked together to prevent Q from sabotaging the experiment and managed to activate the warp drive. Enterprise was flung to the edge of the galaxy, where they faced the Q continuum. Picard spoke on behalf of humanity and defended its right to exist. He argued that humans were a curious and evolving species, capable of great achievements and worthy of respect. He also pointed out that Q was not a representative of the Q continuum, but a rogue element who acted on his own whims. The Q continuum agreed with Picard and decided to spare humanity. They also reprimanded Q for his interference and stripped him of his powers. They then returned the Enterprise to its original location, and thanked Wesley and the Traveler for their assistance. They also revealed that they knew about Wesley's true identity and praised him for his courage and wisdom. They told him that he had a bright future ahead of him, and that they would watch over him. Wesley was relieved that he had succeeded in restoring the timeline, and that the Federation was safe. He bid farewell to his mother, his friends, and his younger self, and thanked them for their support. He then rejoined the Traveler and resumed his journey of exploration. He hoped that he would never have to deal with Q again, but he also knew that the universe was full of surprises. He was ready for whatever came next.
Wonder, did you enjoy that? If you did, let me know. I'll come up with some other ideas and do the same. Thanks very much, and remember, Wesley saved the Federation and the universe.